You know,
They weren't what's expected of Andrews.
right? They weren't. You know, Andrews is a Big Springs fiercest rivalry. It's been like that since I was a kid, and they just, to me, it didn't seem that big. You know, of course, with the Predators, it wasn't like our varsity was horrible last year. If I'm being honest, it was
bad.
It was bad, and you know, the Andrews varsity, they look like an NFL team compared to us. You know,
well, I mean, everybody did except for Colorado City,
right? But you know, they weren't compared to everybody else. They weren't as good. You know, it was just, you know, seeing from our perspective, seeing how tough that varsity fought against ours, and knowing our kids could have played a lot better. Yeah, I just don't see it, and I think this year they might be exposed a little. Yeah, so that's why I've got number 6 as the Colorado City Wolves.
I think they're going to take a step up this year. They got a taste of what the PYFL is all about. I think Wayne's going to do real well with that age group this year.
Right, and like I said, you know, I rank them number 6 because they have some players, you know, and they'll have some return players, you know. I know that last year they tried to have an 8 and 9-year-old team, and they didn't have enough kids, and so they told all the 9-year-olds, y'all can either move up or get your money back, and they had a few move up, you know, and this year they'll have 10-year-olds that are 11-year-olds and 9-year-olds that played last year that are 10-year-olds ready to go. And they'll have some new kids come, and I'm pretty sure they'll get some new coaches in there that'll help them, you know. And
I see the sky's the limit for that program.
Right.
I mean, there's no one really picking through them like it is with Big Spring, or even Andrews, or Greenwood, or even Pecos. Because we all have, you know, there's 2 teams in the Howard County that, you know, pick from Big Spring, Coahoma, Forest Sand. You know, they're the only team out there playing in the PYFL.
Right.
Kind of like Stanton. Well, I mean, Greenwood
Right.
picks from Stanton, but Stanton's by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Number 5, we got the Big Spring Steers.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Roger's a great coach. And I wish him all the best. I really do. I mean, I hope they have a better year than what the Predators and the Steers both had last year.
Yeah. To me, it's going to be interesting, you know. Roger comes back in as the head coach. You know, last year he took a step down just to be our AD, focus on the org. You know,
and he ended up even then he ended up helping coach that.
And he now steps back in as a head coach, has his coaches in place, knows his game plan, and he, you know, I'm not saying we're gonna have the biggest team because we're sitting at like 18 to 20. I think 20 players we're sitting at the varsity. We're still accepting signups, but he's got some talent, but he's got some raw players that need to be coached up. But
I really think he can do that. I think he's the type of person that can coach these kids to get the best out of them.
Yeah, he can. He's been coaching for 17 years in youth football, man. And like I said, when I told the parents of the org, I don't think we could have chosen a better man to lead these varsity Steers into the future.
I don't think so. I mean, he's, especially with last year with the talent that the Predators actually had, which wasn't really that much. Him and Leon did the best they could with what they had.
Right. They really did. And they coached them up. Like Jacob Olguin. You remember Jacob?
Yeah.
He was raw at the begining. And then towards the end, he was wanting to put his shoulder into every kid that came
it's the same
across.
thing with AJ. I mean, he was a skill. He was, you know, raw talent. And then they coached him up. And then, you know, they got the best out of these kids.
Yeah.
And I think really Roger will do the same this year.
Yes, he will. And, you know, infusing some of the JV players that moved up, like Jace, you know, bringing back, what is his name? Jacoby and Cadrian from the Steers, moving up Isaiah from the JV, the big lineman. You know, they're going to have size on that line, and they will have some speed. And I wouldn't doubt it that their defense be the shining point because Roger knows how to whip those kids.
Oh, he's a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
It's great to watch.
And he's going to get them going, hitting, stripping the ball, and running it back. I've seen him do it before, and to be honest, I can't wait to see it again. His games were fun to watch when he was the rookie coach at the Predators. So yeah, I'm ready to see that. And then we got number 4, again, Pecos Eagles.
That was another one that, I mean, they weren't Pecos last year. They really weren't.
Yeah.
I mean,
they kind of had a big head in this division.
They really did. They thought they were going to run roughshod over everybody, and they ended up not doing very well at all.
No, they didn't. And I think it was because the year before, their varsity was the champions. They thought they were going to come in. They thought they were going to be the best again. But Stanton and the Broncos had other...
They had other plans.
They had other plans.
Them two teams were they were on a collision course all year.
Yeah, they were. And that's why it was hard to rank them where we rank them, because neither team is in that number 1 spot. You know?
But they both lost a lot of talent.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Adam reloads. I mean, yes, he's got DJ, but, I mean, Vineyard, he was a rare talent.
Yes.
I think DJ could, fall into that spot. And I was talking with Adam today, and, they have some fast kids.
Right.
They have some speed. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what him and Monte do with these kids.
Right. But, if anyone can do it, it can be done, He can do it. It can be done. DJ's a great stud as well. He might be a different type of player, but you adapt. You just got to adapt. Monte will do it. He's done it when he was the Predators coach and A.J. Jackson was the running back. He moved over to the Broncos, got Jaden going, and now look, he's got DJ for 2 years.
Yeah.
DJ will be there for 2 years, so that'll be good.
It'll be fun to watch him.
Yeah. Number 3, man. I think you want to say them.
The Stanton Buffaloes.
Yeah, the Stanton Buffaloes.
And
really, the Broncos' rival overall, if you think about it, because most of your kids are Kahoma. Yes, y'all have Big Spring.
We're actually running probably 16% Big Spring right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is a shocker. But y'all are based out of Kahoma.
We are based out of Kahoma. We practice in Kahoma. We're going to play at the stadium in Kahoma.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for all these Kahoma boys that we have on this team, the Stanton Buffaloes, they're their rivals.
Yep.
All through middle school, through high school. The Buffaloes and Forsan are their rivals.
Yep. And, man, they have big boys down there.
Oh, yes. They had big boys in the freshman division.
Yes,
these kids were huge.
They have some big boys, and it's no joke over there, They have a whole town. They can just pull together their kids and come play some ball. And to me, they're a wild card because while they might not be known for having speed, like you said, they got strength. And they've got some good coaches that
they got some power. They got some linemen that they're going to move you.
Yep.
And they want you to go somewhere, you're going to go.
Yep. So, yeah.
And they kind of fall in the same with the Broncos. I mean, they lost a lot of talent. They lost their running back and a couple of other kids. So it's going to be interesting to see how both these teams, fill those voids.
Right. I think their strength will be their offensive line because, they got some returners coming back, I know Sister Herrera III, my other cousin, Matthew's older brother, he'll be playing his last year, and he's the center up there, he'll be, he's a good leader. He has always been a leader, whether he was an offensive lineman or not, and I think he'll bring it to them, help that line's, I guess, stability, you'd say.
Yeah, it's going to give it stability.
Yeah.
I see Stan doing some good things this year. I really do.
Right. So, number 2, we've got the Howard County Broncos. Defending champs, but some big pieces gone. You got the Offensive Lineman of the Year and Johnny Ray gone. You got the PBYFL MVP gone, Jaden Vineyard. You got, who else? Anybody else leave big named wise?
No, I mean, not necessarily big names, but they lost a lot of key people. I mean, a lot of these kids, Adam's coached since the beginning.
Right.
I mean, they have some big names coming up. I mean, they have Dominic. He's going to do really well this year. You know, you have Ben Rios. He's going to do really well. And you got DJ. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting how some of these kids that are, you know, this is their last year, how they step into those roles of Johnny Ray and some of the kids that they've actually missed and lost. You know, it's gonna be a fun year for Adam. I think he's gonna enjoy this year.
That's good. Yeah, it's always a fun year. Your first year, you don't have someone that you, I guess, coached all your life out there anymore. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be different for him. He's gonna, you know, he's gonna have to find some different leadership than he had last year with his son or with Jaden. You know.
Right.
So it's gonna be fun to watch. It really is.
Right. But nonetheless. Hopefully y'all don't take a step back. Hopefully y'all keep pushing forward, you know. And then, man, at number 1, this was the one that really surprised me and you to agree with, Greenwood Rangers.
They had a really good year last year for their varsity anyways.
Yeah, they did.
And they won the consolation game?
Yes. They were the first team to score on the Broncos last year.
Yes, they were.
Adam told me that. He said they were the first team to score and really fluster them in a sense, he said, you know, to where they had to go back and
they had to relook at things. Hey, you know, hey, what happened?
Exactly. And, you know, a wild card in the whole thing is, like we said in the last 2 divisions, Greenwood is a sub-area of Midland. The varsity coaches infuse their players with some studs and
some studs.
upset Permian, upset a few of those D1 teams.
I remember watching our first game. I watched Greenwood, the varsity beat Permian. I was surprised. I was like, "Holy cow, these kids are good!"
Right?
And they really are.
And they are.
I mean, they fought. They fought against Stanton. They fought against the Broncos. Like you said, they're the first team to score on the Broncos all year.
Right.
Well, and besides when they played the Bandits, but.
Yeah, and I think just the slip up kept them from being the team to be in the Super Bowl against Stanton. You know, I really do, or against the Broncos, I really do. Just a few slip ups, you know. But you know, they're gonna come back. They got a good veteran team. They got a good coach in Dustin Stone, and I just think. They're going to shock a lot of people.
I do too. I really do.
I would not be surprised if they're in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say they're going to win it, but I would not be shocked if they're in it. You know?
I mean, that division's really up in the air. I mean, you got everybody's really reloading from last year. I mean, the 2 main people are, Stan and the Broncos.
But let's do this. Let's give our Super Bowl picks for the division. Our preseason Super Bowl picks. Come on. Let's do it. So for the flag, I'm going to go Pecos, and I guess I'll go Pecos and Stan. I think so.
I'll go Pecos and the Broncos.
You think so?
Mean,
honestly,
we've got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I just don't see how that's. I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man. Freshman division. You can go first.
I think it's going to be Andrews and probably Pecos.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a repeat from last year.
You think?
I do.
I hope not, because I ain't going to say I got a big head, but I got us in there against Pecos.
I figured you would, and I thought about putting the Broncos in there, but then I was like, we're supposed to be biased. It's realistic. I mean, I want to be there.
I'm not being biased. I can sit there and say Andrews is a great team all day, but I just feel like this could be the year, man.
You got to get that monkey off your back first.
I will.
I mean, that's gonna be fun. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, and I hope to see us there, but not being biased, I want to see Big Spring Steers versus the Pecos Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I want to see, the Broncos.
And that's why these are our preseason picks, because, this is just who we think, and that's who I think. But, yeah. let's go on to JV, man.
I think it's with the Broncos and the Steers. I really do.